You're listening to Puma Podcast.
Hi, I'm Tatiana Maligro, Puma Podcast, and you're listening to Teka Teka. In this episode,
I like repeat myself to death. Please adopt, please adopt. Every chance we get to advertise our dogs. And these are dogs that are don't have any defect. We only have like a few with missing a leg. If you call that a defect, kasi us they love you completely. But they're like ordinary dogs with an extraordinary capability to love.
we take a closer look at the Adopt Don't Shop campaign in the Philippines. What is the best way to find your forever companion? Did you ever want to bring home a dog or a cat from the streets when you were a kid? Ana Cabrera, president of the Philippine Animal Welfare Society, certainly did.
I was born into a family of animal lovers. My sister and I, there's just two of us, my sister and I, we would be rescuing kittens from dumped in the trash, yung mga nakakabit pa yung bituka, yung kanilang umbilical cord. And so we would bottle feed them. So the cats were what got me into animal welfare. We didn't have that much money, so we would really try to go to the vets and then try to treat them ourselves.
After rescuing several stray cats and dogs from the streets of Manila growing up, Anna swore she would do whatever she could to improve animal welfare in the Philippines. That's how she met Nita Hontiveros Lichuaco, a fierce animal rights advocate who lobbied for an animal welfare law in the Philippines.
So I was with her lobbying for the Animal Welfare Act in 1997, and then it was passed in 1998. I caught the tail ender of the lobbying because she was lobbying for it for 13 years prior to it getting approved in 1998. So that's really what got me, the family, all this rescuing happening in Sampaloc, and then ultimately meeting Mrs. Lichauco, who became my mentor.
The Animal Welfare Act criminalized animal cruelty in the country. It also prevents breeders, pet shop owners, stock farm owners, and zoos from breeding or selling animals without a permit from the Bureau of Animal Industry. Despite the law, the Philippines still deals with related issues such as overpopulation and animal abandonment. In 2019, PAWS estimated that the Philippines had around 12 million stray cats and dogs. With the increasing number of asong and pusang Pinoy or aspins and puspins in need of a loving home, advocates urge prospective pet owners to adopt strays instead of shopping for their forever companion. This is where foster fur parents like Helena Barakel come in.
I actually rescued my very first cat in 2017 when I was still in college. And there was one time where I was on campus to document an event, and I happened to see like a little blind kitten running around. I took it upon myself to, pick him up, take him to the vet. And that was my first cat. His name is Sid. He's like 7 years old now. I had a dog, my childhood pet Liwai, who passed away in 2020. And it was in the wake of her passing that I formally like made it like a project. So I called it Liwai's Furry Friends. She was not a stray dog. But she was an Aspen who was given to my family when I was a child, and I loved her a lot. I grew up with her. It was because of her passing that I felt like I don't know. I wanted to do something with that. The grief I felt, and also the love I felt for her, and I wanted to carry that over to other animals as well who needed me. So yeah, that's when I started doing my work. So I rescue, I foster, and adopt out. I also do TNR, trap, neuter, return of local stray community cats. And I manage that population. So I feed them, care for them.
Since she started fostering puspins, Helena has rehomed over 30 cats to loving families. And she says the adoption process is not as daunting as it may seem.
You start off with your basic application form. After the application form, you have like a document submission. So those would be things like a valid ID, like home photos. If you have current pets, like their updated vaccination records, things like that. Sometimes, for organizations who have the resources to do this, they will do like a home visit. And then the third step would be a meeting or an interview. So this would be like for final checks, just a conversation really to cover any remaining questions or concerns. And then the last part would be an adoption contract. So this is just like covering the terms and conditions of the adoption, the basic needs of the pet, and yeah, pretty much it covers all of that stuff.
Helena, as well as organizations like PAWS, take the rehoming process seriously to ensure that the applicant's personality and lifestyle will match those of the animal they wish to adopt. More on that after a quick break. Let's talk about the details that an aspiring fur parent needs to share with foster parents or shelters if they want to adopt a pet. Details of their home, their lifestyle, work hours, and whether other members of the household are on board with having a pet. Helena Barakel takes time to get to know potential adopters to ensure they receive a pet who suits their needs and lifestyle. If an organization has enough manpower, they may even visit the prospective pet owner's home. They go through all this because pets don't just need to go to a willing fur parent. They need to go to someone that can actually provide them with the love and care they need.
If somebody lives in a rented property or in a condo, apartment, whatever, I always ask for proof that they're allowed to bring home a pet. So either that's like the contract nila or whatever. Because sometimes they'll be like, oh no, it's cool with my landlord. They said so. I'll be like, I'm gonna need like a letter or kahit screenshot from a chat, because like there have been times in the past where inassume nila na okay lang. Tapos ayun pala hindi. What you don't want is for the animal to have an untenable living situation, right? Because I'm already gonna adopt them out to you, tas mamaya parang may endanger pa yung position nila sa bahay. So I don't want that. So it's about everybody doing their due diligence then. And doing like the self-work as well to be able to tell if they're in a good place to take in a pet.
PAWS President Ana Cabrera says they have a similar adoption process, which aims to match potential fur parents with the pet that best suits their lifestyle.
We ask about their lifestyle, their routine, how busy they are. And then we say, baka you would rather this one. We want you to sleep on it. And they appreciate it kasi you sleep on it. It's not like an impulsive purchase na you pass by the store, you like it, then you just buy. They're given time to sleep on it and then they come back. And they say, yeah, what you said to us made a lot of sense. Our adoption counselors kasi are there. The volunteers are there who spend time with the dogs. And they appreciate it.
Matchmaking takes time, making pet adoption a more engaging process than some might expect. And because it takes more time and effort, some prospective pet owners may want to just buy their forever companion instead. But by adopting an animal from a shelter, or even rescuing one off the streets, you are giving the pet a second chance at living a comfortable life. In other words, you give them an opportunity to live under a loving household.
The breed of an animal is not going to dictate the relationship you're going to have, like the love you're going to have, and the life that you can build together. I don't think that's reliant on breed at all. Like that's reliant on the care that you put into your pet. I think that Aspins and Puspins are just as capable of, or if not more capable of giving you like that love and that attention, and that fulfillment, even not just because of what they've been through, but because like they're here now. They're ready to go home with somebody who's going to give back what they're going to give to you.
It's a common mindset among Filipinos to prioritize dogs and cats of specific breeds over Aspins and Puspins. Some Filipinos may even have certain reasons for wanting a pet na may dugo. Maybe you need a hypoallergenic breed or one of a specific temperament. Some working animals may also require specific traits found in particular breeds. Helena and Anna don't want to police anyone for choosing pets of a specific breed, but they believe that the love between pet and owner is something that transcends look and pedigree. And this is exactly why they think you should give Aspins and Puspins a chance.
So even online, like there are a lot of like adoption Facebook groups. I use a couple myself sometimes when I'm promoting my cats for adoption. You can find a lot of people who, take care of cats in their community, like, or who rescue cats talaga and then who are looking for new homes for them, even just online like Facebook, Instagram. I these are the platforms that I use, and there are so many of them. And that's just from independent rescuers. There are so many established organizations that you can also go to. So many talaga na you can just look them up, and they have adoption events, they have shelters you can visit. I feel that awareness about rescue and adoption, about spay and neuter, about aspins and postpins in need of homes is continually on the rise talaga. And I feel like there's nobody who's online now who wouldn't see that, diba? So I feel like it just requires a little more curiosity.
Go through the process kasi we don't judge you for if you don't go through with it, then okay lang, no? I mean, if you end up not adopting from us, okay pa then, we would spend the same effort. But I think more people appreciate the process more than resent the process. So if they're saying that it's too difficult, sabi nga nila, di ba, if the more time that you spend doing a thing and then you eventually get it, the more that is valued.
If you've been considering adopting a pet, we hope this episode of Teka Teka has given you the push you need to start the process. And please share this episode with someone who's also thinking of adopting. Again, I'm Tatiana Maligro. This episode was edited by Pidoy Blanco. Our Teka Teka executive producer is Jill Caro, and our editor-in-chief is Carl Javier. When I was researching for this episode, I realized that we can't talk about pet adoption without tackling the bigger issue of animal welfare in the Philippines. So in part 2 next week, we will talk about the state of animal welfare in the Philippines and why we cannot adopt our way out of animal overpopulation. And of course, don't forget to follow Teka Teka and Puma Podcast on your favorite podcast app or on YouTube. Thanks for listening.